Well, to go through all of it, I'm joined by Elaine Dezenski, head of the Centre on Economic and Financial Power at the Foundation for Defence of Democracies, a non-partisan, independent think tank focused on national security and foreign policy. She joins us from Arlington, Virginia. Good to see you this morning, Elaine. Look, voters consistently say affordability is their top concern. You've got the midterm elections looming, so Republicans are leaning heavily on their economic message. How do you think Donald Trump did? Did he truly address that sort of financial pressure Americans say they're facing?
Well, he spent almost the first hour of this historically long speech talking about the affordability question. So whether he hammered it home in a way that will resonate with most Americans, I think it's a bit too early to tell. But I would say that there are some data points, some genuine data points in the administration's favor. Egg prices are down, inflation is down, gas prices are down, and real wages are going up. So the trend is not necessarily all negative. The question is whether it's going to be enough to shift the needle before November and allow the Republicans to keep control of both the House and the Senate.
So some positive developments there on the affordability point. What about another key economic plank of the president's sort of economic policy, and that is tariffs? Part of that we saw struck down by the Supreme Court last week. Did he address that and how it might affect international trade relations?
Well, he did express his dismay over the Supreme Court ruling. And of course, the administration has already taken action under the Section 122 authorities to levy a 10%, it could be up to 15% reciprocal tariffs. So there is a plan B in motion in light of that Supreme Court ruling, but there's no question that that was a huge problem for the administration. And what I would point out is the increasing complexity that that ruling brings to the conversation with President Xi. So the President Trump is headed to Beijing at the end of March for some pretty important trade discussions. And he's going there without the benefit of a sustained reciprocal tariff strategy. So we'll see where that ends up. It's also interesting that Trump didn't mention China once in this speech. This is the first time in his State of the Union address, going back even to his first term, where China was not mentioned. And what this really demonstrates is this idea of optionality, that Trump doesn't want to go there. This is a very deliberate strategy, in my view, not to put out any sort of policy objectives that may constrain his ability to negotiate with President Xi.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that space and see what comes when the two leaders meet in the next months or so. Elaine Dezenski, thank you very much for joining us on this Wednesday morning.